A woman is not just another person in your life. She's a divine creation with the power to multiply whatever is placed in her hands. She was designed to receive, process, and produce. That is why whatever you give a woman, she does not return it in the same measure. You give her raw ingredients, she makes a meal. You give her a house, she makes it a home. You give her love, she gives you devotion. But if you give her pain, she will not just feel it, she will carry it, internalize it, and in many cases, reproduce it. When a woman is hurt, she does not just feel it, she absorbs it, she internalizes it, she processes it in ways a man may never understand. And if you do not handle her properly in her moment of pain, you will confuse her, frustrate her, and even drive her further away. A woman was never created to be stagnant. Everything in her is wired for growth. She takes what is given to her and nurtures it, shapes it, expands it, and makes it into something greater. This is why a woman's reaction to what you give her will always be bigger than what was originally given. If you plant love, she will give you loyalty and commitment. But if you plant pain, she will give you distance, resentment, or silence. Many men do not understand this because they do not process pain the same way. A man often moves on from issues quickly. He may hurt a woman and assume that because time has passed, she should be fine. He may even believe that if she loves him, she should just let it go. But a woman does not operate on that principle. She does not just experience an event, she feels it, she absorbs it, and she processes it until it becomes a part of her. A woman's heart is like soil. If you plant a seed in the ground, it does not remain a seed, it grows into something greater. The soil does not ask whether the seed is good or bad. It simply nurtures what is placed in it. If you plant love, she will produce warmth and care. But if you plant disappointment, she will produce caution and hesitation. If you plant betrayal, she will produce distrust. This is why many men are confused when a woman changes. They wonder, why is she not as warm as before? Why does she not respond the same way? They do not realize that they have been planting seeds the whole time. And what they are seeing is simply the harvest of what was sown. You cannot expect a woman to be the same after she has been hurt. A wound does not heal by ignoring it, it heals by treating it. And when a woman is wounded, she does not need distance, she needs reassurance. She needs to know that the one who caused the pain is also willing to be part of the healing. But too many times men get it wrong. When a woman reacts to pain, they think she is being difficult. When she expresses her hurt, they think she is complaining. When she seeks understanding, they think she is nagging. But in reality, she is responding the way she was designed to express, to feel, to process. So what confuses a woman in these moments? It is when you respond in a way she does not expect. She expects silence, but instead you speak. She expects avoidance, but instead you listen. She expects excuses, but instead you take responsibility. When you do this, you disrupt the cycle of pain. You give her something new to multiply. You replace sorrow with security, doubt with trust, and fear with love. Because a woman does not just hear your words, she feels your heart. And when she feels that she is truly valued, she will give you back a love that is deeper than you ever imagined. A woman was created to respond to words. From the beginning, she was introduced into conversation, not isolation. She was designed to engage, to communicate, to receive, and to express. That is why silence is one of the most dangerous things you can give a woman when she is hurting. When a woman is wounded, silence does not bring her peace, it brings her confusion. It leaves her questioning, doubting, and overanalyzing. A woman cannot heal in an environment of uncertainty. When a man chooses silence in a moment of hurt, he may think he is avoiding conflict, but he is actually creating distance. He may believe that saying nothing is better than saying the wrong thing, but in reality, saying nothing is often worse. A woman does not just want to feel your presence, she wants to feel your engagement. She wants to know that you see her pain, that you acknowledge her emotions, and that you care enough to respond. Silence creates space for assumptions. When a woman does not hear your words, she starts filling in the blanks herself. She begins to wonder, does he even care? Does he understand what I'm feeling? Is he avoiding me because he feels guilty? Or does he just not think this is important? And the more time passes, the more her mind begins to build a narrative, one that may not even be true, but feels real to her, because silence has left too many unanswered questions. Many men withdraw in moments of conflict because they do not know what to say. They assume that if they just stay quiet, time will fix the issue. But a woman does not process pain that way. She does not just forget, she remembers. And every moment of silence adds another layer to the wound. She is waiting, not just for time to pass, but for clarity, for understanding, for reassurance. Silence does not mean strength. It often means avoidance. A man may be silent because he does not want to deal with the issue, because he is uncomfortable, or because he believes the conversation will lead to more problems. But what he fails to realize is that his silence is already creating problems. A woman cannot resolve what has never been addressed. She cannot heal from what has never been acknowledged. And when a woman feels ignored, she does not remain the same. She starts to retreat emotionally. She starts to question her own worth. She starts to believe that her feelings do not matter, that her voice is not valued, that her presence is not a priority. And when that happens, a distance forms, not just in the conversation, but in the relationship itself. So, what confuses a woman? It is when, instead of silence, you choose to speak. Instead of avoiding, you lean in. Instead of shutting down, you open up. A woman does not need you to have all the answers. She just needs you to acknowledge the problem. She does not need you to be perfect with your words. She just needs to know that you care enough to try. Because a woman does not just hear what you say, she feels what you mean. And when she feels understood, she will give you back a trust and love that cannot be measured. When a woman is hurt, she is not looking for explanations. She is looking for understanding. She does not want to hear why it happened. She wants to know that you care about how she feels. But too often, when a woman expresses her pain, a man responds with defensiveness. Instead of acknowledging her emotions, he justifies his actions. Instead of listening, he argues. And when that happens, the wound does not heal, it deepens. Defensiveness is the quickest way to make a woman feel unheard. When she opens her heart to tell you that something hurt her, and your first response is to protect yourself, she no longer feels safe in the conversation. She begins to believe that her feelings are not valid, that her emotions are being dismissed, that her pain is being minimized. And when a woman feels that way, she does not just get upset, she starts to shut down. A woman does not expect perfection, but she does expect sincerity. She knows that mistakes will happen. She knows that misunderstandings are part of relationships. But what she cannot accept is a refusal to acknowledge her pain. When a woman shares her hurt, it is not an attack. It is an invitation. It is her way of saying, come into my world, see what I see, feel what I feel. And if you reject that invitation by defending yourself, she will eventually stop inviting you in. Many men defend themselves because they do not want to feel guilty. They do not want to admit that their actions cause pain. But what they do not realize is that the issue is not about blame, it is about connection. A woman does not want to fight against you, she wants to fight for the relationship. She is not bringing up the pain to accuse you, she is bringing it up to fix what is broken. But if every conversation turns into a courtroom where she has to prove her pain and you have to prove your innocence, love turns into a battle and relationships turn into wars. When a man becomes defensive, he builds a wall. And the more he defends, the higher the wall becomes. And a woman by nature does not fight against walls. She withdraws from them. She may argue at first, trying to break through. But eventually, she will stop talking, she will stop sharing, She will stop believing that the conversation is even worth having. And when a woman no longer sees the value in expressing her emotions, she stops investing emotionally in the relationship. So what confuses a woman? It is when, instead of defending yourself, you acknowledge her feelings. It is when, instead of justifying, you listen. It is when, instead of focusing on proving you are right, you focus on making things right. A woman does not need you to agree with every detail of her emotions, but she does need you to respect them. She needs to know that her feelings matter, that her voice is heard, that her heart is safe with you. Because a woman does not just listen to what you say, she listens to how you respond. And when she feels understood, she will give you a love that no defense could ever protect, but that true understanding will always preserve. When a woman is hurt, she does not just want to be heard, she wants to be reassured. She wants to know that her emotions matter, that her pain is acknowledged, and that the person who hurt her is willing to be present in the healing. But too often, when a man does not know how to respond to a woman's emotions, he chooses to withdraw. He steps back, avoids the conversation, and distances himself, believing that time will fix what words cannot. But what he does not realize is that time does not heal wounds. Presence does. A woman processes pain through connection. She does not just want to resolve the issue in her mind, she wants to work through it with the person who caused it. She wants to express, to be understood, to receive comfort. But when a man pulls away, he does not give her the chance to close the emotional gap. He makes it wider. His silence is not neutral, it is painful. His absence is not calming, it is unsettling. She does not see his withdrawal as an attempt to avoid conflict. She sees it as an attempt to avoid her. Many men withdraw because they feel overwhelmed. They do not know what to say. They do not know how to fix the situation. They assume that if they just give it time, emotions will settle and everything will return to normal. But a woman does not forget what she feels. She does not just wait for the moment to pass. She carries the weight of the unresolved pain. And the longer the silence continues, the more distant she becomes. When a man pulls away, a woman does not just feel abandoned. She begins to question her own worth. She wonders if her emotions are too much. She wonders if her feelings are a burden. She wonders if she is asking for more than he is willing to give. And if she feels like she is fighting for connection alone, she will eventually stop fighting. She will stop reaching out. She will stop expecting a response. She will stop believing that her emotions are important to him. And once a woman stops believing that her heart is safe, she starts protecting it by keeping it closed. Withdrawal does not solve problems, it creates more of them. A woman cannot trust a man who disappears when things get difficult. She cannot open her heart to someone who is not willing to sit with her in the pain. She cannot build security with a man who runs from discomfort. A relationship is not built on how two people handle the good times. It is built on how they navigate the difficult ones. And if a man's first response to conflict is to withdraw, he is teaching the woman that she cannot count on him when she needs him the most. So what confuses a woman? It is when instead of pulling away, you stay. It is when instead of avoiding the conversation, you engage in it. It is when instead of running from the emotions, you lean into them. She expects you to disappear, but instead you show up. She expects you to shut down, but instead you open up. And when she sees that you are willing to stand with her in the discomfort, she no longer feels the need to fight alone. She begins to trust that she is not alone at all. Because a woman does not just need your presence when things are easy. She needs to know that you will stay when things are hard. And when she sees that, she will give you a love that is not only deep, but unshakable. When a woman is hurt, she often expects a fight. She expects resistance, defensiveness, or an argument. She has seen it before. She expresses her feelings, and instead of being heard, she is met with debate. She explains her pain, and instead of receiving comfort, she is told why she is overreacting. She shares her heart, and instead of understanding, she is given reasons why she should not feel the way she feels. So she prepares herself. She prepares to defend her emotions. She prepares for a conversation that will feel more like a battle. She prepares for words that will push her away rather than draw her close. And in doing so, she builds a wall around her heart before the conversation even begins. She protects herself before she is even hurt again. A woman does not expect a man to understand everything she feels immediately, but she does expect him to try. She expects him to care. She expects him to engage. And when instead of argument, she is met with agreement, she is confused. She is caught off guard. She does not know how to respond because she was expecting resistance, not openness. Many men do not realize that agreeing with a woman in her pain does not mean admitting defeat. It means showing love. It does not mean that she is right about everything. It means that her emotions are being honored. A woman does not want a man to argue about whether her feelings are valid. She wants him to acknowledge that they exist. She does not want to be told why she should not feel a certain way. She wants to know that what she feels is understood. When a man stops trying to win the conversation and instead focuses on winning her heart, everything changes. She no longer feels the need to fight for understanding because she has already received it. She no longer feels the need to push back because she is not being pushed away. She no longer feels unheard because she is being listened to. And when a woman feels truly heard, her defenses drop, her walls lower, her heart softens. Some men think that if they agree with a woman's feelings, they are giving up control. They believe that they must prove their point, defend their actions, and make sure she sees things from their perspective. But love is not about control, it is about connection. And when a man chooses connection over correction, he builds a relationship that is not based on power, but on trust. A woman is not looking for a man who always has the perfect words. She is looking for a man who is willing to be present in the conversation. She is not searching for someone who can argue better. She is searching for someone who values peace over pride. She is not interested in proving who is right. She is interested in knowing that her heart is safe. So what confuses a woman? It is when instead of arguing, you listen. Instead of resisting, you embrace the conversation. Instead of proving your point, you prove your love. She was expecting a wall, but instead she found a door. She was expecting distance, but instead she found closeness. She was expecting a fight, but instead she found understanding. Because a woman does not just want to hear your words, she wants to feel your heart. And when she feels that, she will give you a love that no argument could ever win, but that true understanding will always protect. When a woman is hurt, she expects distance. She expects you to withdraw, to become silent, to step back. She expects you to ignore the situation or wait for it to resolve on its own. Why? Because she has seen it happen before. She knows that many men, when faced with emotional discomfort, choose avoidance over engagement. They assume that giving her space will somehow make her feel better, but what they do not realize is that space does not heal a wounded heart. Presence does. A woman processes emotions through connection. She does not just think about what happened, she feels it deeply. She carries it, internalizes it, and plays it over in her mind. And when the person who hurt her disappears in that moment, the pain multiplies. Because now she is not just dealing with the hurt itself, she is dealing with the loneliness that comes with it. She is dealing with the unspoken message that says, your pain is too much for me, or worse, your pain does not matter. Many men believe that stepping away gives a woman time to cool off. They think that their silence will prevent more damage, that avoiding the issue will keep the peace. But avoidance does not bring peace. It brings doubt. A woman left alone in her pain begins to wonder, does he even care? Does he see what I'm going through? Is this relationship as important to him as it is to me? The longer the distance remains, the more these questions become answers in her mind. And if she starts to believe that she is dealing with her emotions alone, she will stop sharing them altogether. A woman cannot feel safe with a man who disappears when things get difficult. She cannot trust a man who runs from emotional moments. She cannot open her heart to someone who is only present when things are easy. A man's consistency in difficult times determines how secure a woman feels with him. If she knows that he will be there, that he will listen, that he will sit with her in the discomfort instead of leaving her to handle it alone, she will not build walls, she will build trust. But what confuses a woman? It is when instead of pulling away, you stay. Instead of giving her silence, you give her your attention. Instead of avoiding her emotions, you step into them. She was expecting coldness, but she is met with warmth. She was expecting you to ignore her pain, but instead you acknowledge it. She was expecting distance, but instead you come closer. And in that moment, her defenses begin to fall. A woman does not expect you to have all the answers. She just needs to know that you are willing to walk through the questions with her. She does not need you to fix everything. She needs to know that you care enough to stay present. Because when a woman feels that she is not alone in her emotions, she does not hold on to pain, she releases it. She does not guard her heart, she opens it. And in that moment, what was once broken begins to heal, not because of time, but because of love. Because a woman does not just want to know that you love her, she wants to feel that you will stand with her even in the difficult moments. And when she feels that, she will give you a love that is deep, unwavering, and full of trust. When a woman is hurt, she does not just want to hear words, she wants to feel change. She does not need empty apologies, repeated excuses, or promises that never turn into action. She has heard it all before. She knows what it feels like to receive apologies that mean nothing. She knows what it's like to be told things will be different, only to see the same patterns repeat themselves. And after a while, she stops believing words altogether. A woman is not moved by what you say. She is moved by what you do. If you say you are sorry but continue the same behavior, your apology means nothing. If you promise to listen but still refuse to hear her heart, your words are empty. If you tell her you care but never show up when she needs you, your love feels distant. A woman does not judge a man by his intentions, she judges him by his actions, because she knows that love without action is not love at all. Many men believe that saying "I'm sorry" is enough to fix the situation. They assume that if they acknowledge the hurt, the conversation should be over. But for a woman, acknowledgement is just the beginning. She is not looking for words to cover up the pain. She is looking for proof that the pain mattered enough to create change. She is not interested in hearing why it happened. She wants to see that it won't happen again. A woman forgives not because of what you say, but because of what you show. She watches. And if she sees that your apology was nothing more than a moment of regret with no follow-through, she begins to disconnect. She stops believing in the words. She stops feeling safe in the relationship. She starts to protect herself, not because she wants to, but because she has to. A woman wants to trust. She wants to believe. She wants to give her heart fully. But she cannot do that if she has no assurance that her emotions are valued. She cannot build on words alone. She builds on consistency. She builds on integrity. She builds on the small daily actions that prove that love is not just something spoken, but something lived. So what confuses a woman? It is when, instead of just saying you will change, you actually do. It is when your actions match your words. It is when your love is proven not through apologies, but through transformation. She expected to be let down, but instead she is lifted up. She expected the same cycle, but instead she sees something new. She expected to protect her heart, but instead she learns that she can trust it with you, because a woman does not just want to hear that she is loved, she wants to feel it in every choice you make. And when she does, she will give you a love that is not only deep, but unshakable. In the end, a woman does not seek perfection, she seeks sincerity. She does not need grand speeches or rehearsed words. She needs a heart that is present, a mind that listens, and actions that prove love is real. When she is hurt, she's not looking for explanations. She is looking for reassurance. She is not measuring your words, she is measuring your consistency. Because love is not about who wins the argument. It is about who protects the relationship. If you choose defensiveness over understanding, you create distance. If you choose silence over presence, you create doubt. If you choose words without actions, you create disappointment. But when you choose to listen, to stand firm, to show change, you create a love that is unbreakable. So be the man who confuses a woman in the best way. Not by running, but by understanding. Not by promising, but by proving. And when you do, you will not only heal her heart, you will gain a love that is loyal, deep, and unwavering. Good luck, and may your relationships be filled with wisdom, strength, and true connection. Thank you.